any South African on the road has at some point in their driving life been irritated, frustrated, and even slightly road ragey at taxi drivers on the road. But an ingenious Wits University student, Tsitsi Chumia, has found a really clever way to highlight the problems that taxi drivers themselves are facing, and he's done it all through a very clever board game called AfterRobot. Tsitsi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Now, won't you explain to us what is AfterRobot?
Well, AfterRobot is a board game that I created for, I think it's a 2-year project now that I wanted that educates. It uses the taxi life, and it put it into a game format, and then I put the player into a role of playing a taxi boss, and they have to manage their taxis around the board using cool dash mechanic to move their taxis, and they use blocking mechanics to block other players from getting to the places. So it's like a board where players feel like they are running the taxi business. They're running their very own taxi franchise, and they're trying to win by getting their taxis to certain places first before the other players do.
And of course, many South Africans will never actually experience what it's like to try and run a taxi business. Is this your way of trying to highlight that?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people have their own perceptions of taxis, and some of them are correct and some of them are not. And the thing is, I didn't want to make any commentary about anything anything negative about the taxi industry. All I wanted is to bring awareness about the taxi industry so that people can have a platform to think about certain things when it comes to taxis. So if you want to see a message in the game, you can see it. And the thing is, it comes in a game format, so where people can play it for fun, for absolute fun, or the people can play it to see certain messages in the taxi board game, and which is great because it's interactive and people get to interact with certain things, and they get to experience a lot of what's happening in the taxi industry. And that is the fun element for me, is that this game is so South African, but at the same time is that the taxi industry is an international industry, and anyone in the world can play it and relate it to what they think, because we had a lot of international people, not a lot, but we had some international people played, and they put their experiences onto the game of what they experienced in their own countries. And that for me was a win situation, because I could see that this game has a lot of potential even in overseas.